Rodriguez likes to be on. All right, we're live, everybody. What's up, everybody, and welcome into the Put in the Book Show, Season 5, Episode 7. I mean, how else can we open a show but besides laughing and, yucking it up, as they say. Foggy. Well, they're going to the West. Well, not going to that part of the West Coast, but beep, beep. Keith. I got Keith to my left here. I'm Steve, by the way, and I got Keith right here to my left. Keith, what's up, man?
6 in a row, baby.
6 in a row. Beautiful apple behind you.
Seen that rise a couple times this week.
Ooh, giddy up.
I'll tell you something else I've a couple of times this week.
Whoa.
Timmy says he's on the M train right now. Entertain me. That's what we're here for. We're here to entertain everybody.
Timmy!
Rodriguez right down here. What's up, my friend?
What's up, peoples?
I'm Tim. I'm sure if you look around, you probably have plenty of entertainment on the M train.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord. Or any entertainment forthcoming any minute now.
Something's bound to happen.
Look in the corners. There's somebody peeing. There's somebody peeing in one of the 4 corners of the place. Trust me.
And right behind the wall of Rodriguez's place, right back there.
I gave him a better wall this week.
You
See,
did.
I moved him over.
I was going to say, yeah.
He's got a
color,
view.
nice picture. He's doing all right.
He's living in Manhattan. What does he want? Look at the skyscraper. He's penthouse.
There it is. Mom, thanks for joining. And so, producer Joe, how are things? Is that how you responded to the how are things? You want to really let us know how you've been?
Come on, hiccup fart. Let's go.
6 in a row, man. We're all doing great. Everybody's happy. Everybody's smiling. Everything is good. All is right in Met World.
Everything is awesome.
Producer Joe is actually talking on the show. So, Farace, think about that.
So, let's get this party started. Let's kick it off. Producer Joe, let's get it started. And a welcome back into the Put in the Book show. And obviously, today is the 10th anniversary of Johan Santana's no-hitter, his one-pitcher no-hitter, as some guys out there would like to say, a real no-hitter.
Who says that? Who says that?
That was your old friend, Noah. Hey, by the way, while Timmy's on and wanting to be entertained, we'll give a nice little thank you for that little slap upside the forehead that you gave to the old boy Noah in the Bronx last night. And since he said that little snide remark about the Mets no-hitter, his ERA is 8.18. Boom. Oh, that.
Syndergaard must be pitching.
Yeah, he almost threw a no-outer against them.
You saw that too, right?
Yeah,
that was funny.
How great was that?
Great. Well
all right,
deserved.
Well,
let's face, Syndergaard.
Let's take a step back. I don't know why they decided to do Johan's Day yesterday. Maybe because it was a night game. more people would attend because of school. I don't know, but that didn't wind up happening anyway. But it was really cool to have him out there. His son. He was talking about his son, and he
Listen,
always seems.
I'm glad there was nobody there because his son throwing out the first pitch. Let me tell you something.
Well, he told him he hasn't taught him the circle change yet. So
he hasn't taught him how to throw. That kid doesn't play baseball. Who you kidding, Johan?
But he always seems
Keith,
to.
you're on mute.
Yeah, I was saying
sorry.
he threw it to Tolly's son too.
Yes, he always seems to ensure that there's no blame placed on that 134 pitches that night. He always says, I don't regret it. I wouldn't do anything to change it. Yeah, the other side of it wasn't as great as I wanted it to be, but would not change a thing.
Would
What
you
do you
guys change it? I wouldn't.
No,
I mean, who would?
I
but
mean,
he also
he
did
made
say
history.
the first hit I got, I would have asked him to pull me out.
Oh yeah.
The first hit they got, I should say.
I thought he was gonna say it, and I was gonna walk my happy butt back to the dugout. But yeah, I mean, obviously that was a big point of contention ever since the no hitter. But just going back to that night, I just remember just going nuts, realizing what's happening here, and then the thrill of it all was the pitch count. They're gonna take him out. He's got issues. And then all along, my wife wondering what's going on. Why am I going nuts? And I'm like, this is the Mets. We haven't pitched a no hitter 50 years.
Wow.
Two teams, and they did it, jumping up and down, listening to what was it, Darling or Keith that screamed when that final out. But let's go real quick. Just reminisce for a few seconds. Keith, what do you remember about that day, that game, and where you were? Is it one of those things? You remember where you were the night of?
I do, but what I remember most about it, I think it was Keith Hernandez kept saying no hitter and pissing me off the whole game. That's really what I remember most about that game.
That was Gary Cohen. That was Gary Cohen.
I'm like, you guys need to shut the hell up. And then Eddie C, I think, was calling that game. I think it was Eddie C. I don't know if it was
who was just recognized the other day too. That's
he was saying I think he was in a booth with Jim Duquette, and he said Duquette didn't say a word at all. He stayed frozen the whole game. I was like, see, take a lesson, guys.
That's the way to do it.
That's right.
Rodriguez, what about you?
Man. Keith is 100% right on that. Okay, I'm glad he said it because I want to say it too. Gary, sometimes you need to shut it. Okay, just
how many more would we have, guys?
I blame Gary for every no hitter we've never thrown.
Here's a no hitter into the 6th. Here's a no hitter into the 7th. There's a no hitter. Did you know there's a no hitter in the 7th? Here's a bat. Oh, he's out. It's still a no hitter. It's like, son of a.
Johan said he didn't even realize something was going on that special until everybody stopped talking to him. They wouldn't even come around.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so there's a no hitter coming. There's something special happening. I mean, dude, the guy had lost his real, like number one stuff. He lost it. He didn't have it anymore. You knew that. He had a changeup. He was smart. He could throw 90 still but he didn't have his Johan Santana, the guy that we wanted stuff. And he still gutted out that game, finished that game. If he only had 134 pitches in his arm if he knew that he could only throw 134 pitches, he would have done it anyway, dude. He would have pitched that game. Because how can you get yourself taken out of a no-hitter, right, Keith?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the younger version of For Love of the Game, which is a great movie, by the way. But like,
great movie.
But he had 5 walks. 5 walks Santana had. That is crazy. And he gutted it out.
He pitched.
Yeah,
Baxter home
run.
Baxter catch.
Baxter saved them.
And he broke his back.
Ended his career. Back, you want to talk about Johan? At least Johan made like $100 million, right, guys? This guy Baxter made like $35,000. Just came up for a couple of games, and he breaks his back for Johan. Johan should have bought him a house at least.
He should have.
He should have.
Good Lord, a car.
Oh man. But they replay. I think it was today even. They replayed his little speech after no-hitter with guys just coming up to him. He said, "Just give me a moment. We all made history," and he probably pointed right at Baxter and said, thank you.
Thank you.
But I don't know, producer Joe, you want to chime in on this?
It must have been a Friday night or a Saturday night, because I was playing poker. I was playing poker. I was at a poker game, and so I wasn't watching the game, and I was starting to get texts around fifth, sixth inning, seventh inning, and I started watching on my phone, and I know I pissed everybody off at the poker game because I walked away from the table for the eighth and ninth inning and watched it
as
on.
Well, you should.
The MLB app on my phone, and I know that they were all legit pissed at me. Like, what's the big deal? None of them are baseball fans, and I stood off in the corner watching the game, drinking beers, and had nobody to really celebrate with. But it was an amazing moment, and I remember it clearly, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm watching this happen. It was amazing.
So you weren't playing with guys?
Yeah. Yeah, mostly my wife's brothers who are all not sports fans,
Oh,
none of them are sports fans.
Yeah.
All right.
Those guys, yeah.
The easy Rodriguez.
All the
I know of them, and I know one or two of them. So
yeah, I know.
He's 100% right.
Yeah. No, the one of our brothers that is a sport fan is a cop in Hollywood. He was one of them that was calling me and texting me, "Dude, are you watching this? Are you watching this?" So we were back and forth texting and talking while we were watching it on our phones. So there was that.
Great night, and just amazing that 10 years later, even though in a different circumstances, another no-hitter. Let's make it do it a couple of times in between there.
No,
getting greedy.
10 years.
All right.
And you know what? The other team had no hits. So you know what that means? It was a real no-hitter. They really had a no-hitter.
There were actually no hits.
I bet you Carlos Beltran does a video. I'm talking about the no-hitter. And then he winks at
I bet.
No-hitter. I hate Beltran. I hate you so much.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. All right. So let's kind of reel it in him. Current. You love to hate him. And you hate to love him. Let's reel it back into current day. Let's give it over to Keith. Keith, can you talk a little bit about some stuff that is going to keep us awake during this immensely long road trip?
So the Mets have won 6 games, and it is all because of BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. The Mets have been tired playing hard, long game days.
Oh, there it is. A little Freudian slip. You got something else on your mind, huh?
They've been playing long days, and the only thing that kept them going was Blue Knots, a good cup of BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com from their roaster to your front door, only to find his beans are hand selected.
Grubby hands.
For your
Dirty,
pleasure.
Nasty hands.
There's a ton of flavors out there, delicious, yummy flavors. Check them out now. I guess dark roast, dark chocolate. Got to talk about that one, right? It's chocolatey rich, dark roasted flavor, and it's just you got to be careful though. It's got a lot of calories in it, right, Fratch? What's the calorie count in a cup of coffee of that dark roast, dark chocolate?
Same as the number of hits in a fake no-hitter.
And there's a ton of other flavors out there. I'm not going to go through them all right now, but I'm going to encourage you strongly to go out there because it is their doing that got us the 6-game winning streak. 2 sweeps in a row, thanks to you, BrooklynWaterCoffeeRoasters.com. Check them out now, www.brooklynwatercoffeeroasters.com, from their roaster to your front door. Guaranteed to ship within 24 hours of its roast date. And if you act now, and you use the code PopCulturePros, you'll get a third bag free. Buy 2 bags, get a third free. Try out those flavors. Guaranteed to love it. If you don't like it, you can ship it to Pop Culture Pros. Steve, Joe, and myself will split it
Giddy
up.
up. We'll take it. No foul language there. Mama Farace's watching.
Heck yeah.
Mama
That's right.
Farace.
All right. Man, what a nice week. I don't think any of us predicted a perfect 6-0. I don't think any of us would dare do such a thing last week. But it is what it is. Them's be the facts. 6-0 on the homestand, and front and center, guys. I'll start with you. Hey David, what's up, man? Cookie, 6-1. I actually think that most of us chose him, when we did our prediction, somewhere between 6 and 8 wins or something like that. Maybe Rodriguez, you popped him up there like 11-ish. I have to go back and look, but obviously off to a sensational start. And we'll talk about his start today in a moment. And there's stuff about his dad, a pretty cool story. But name of the game this homestand has been offense. Been kicking the shit out of these teams, especially the Nats. So Rodriguez, start off with you on this one. What has been going on with this offense? Everything's clicking, and right here's where somebody like a Nito or whatever can hide out. But now he was 4 for 4 today. So what's going on with this offense, man?
Listen, when we lost Magilla Gorilla, when we lost Scherzer, Mad Max, I was a little perturbed and distraught for a second there because, to be honest, those guys were killing it. They were pitching very well, and I said, "How are we going to keep up the pitching?" But guess what? We don't really need to keep up the pitching, even though it's kept up. Our pitching has been pretty good, to be honest. Even with those two guys going down. I mean, today was a recipe for success. The starter goes 5, nice and easy 5. You got Loogie coming in for 2. You got a guy coming in for 1. Could be Ottavino, could be Trevor May, could be anybody in the bullpen. And then you got your closer finishing the game and 5-0 wins. Yep. Dude, give me another 70 of those. That would be wonderful. But to be honest, it's a whole team effort, man, because these guys are putting games together. They're attacking the other team from the get-go. They're making the pitcher, their starter, throw 30 to 50 pitches in the first inning or first 2 innings or something that. But they're just making the guys work, and they're putting pressure on the other team. So, eventually the other team is going to wear out. I mean, that's the plan, right? So you just keep putting pressure on them until they wear out. You hit more, you play better defense, and you pitch more effectively. So how do you win games? Just do what the Mets are doing. Watch today's game, and you'll see how to win games when the catcher, the guy who's batting 220, goes 4 for 4, pretty much drives in all the runs and wins the game for you. That's a team effort when you got guys doing that type of stuff. So the Mets are on it, man. They're a real team. As of right now, they're real, man. I'm just pleasantly surprised and very cautious because we're Mets fans.
Cautiously optimistic.
But they're real, man.
I mean, we've played 6 games against teams that we should beat, and we beat them. But we didn't just beat them; we scored 49 runs in 6 games. 2 shutouts, 2 or 3. We didn't shut out the Phillies, right? 2 shutouts in a row. We're taking care of business like we're supposed to be doing, and it's really so much fun to watch. Like I've been saying all week, I can't believe how much fun it is to watch this team, and the philosophy of just putting the ball in play instead of swinging for the fences. It's baseball. I mean, you can't just get up there hacking every time. I never understood that. We've been saying that in the show forever, and now they're finally following. If it's
our advice,
our direction,
basically. But it's not. It's been in place way before any of us, right? It's just if the ball's not in play, things can't happen. If you're striking out, things can't happen, and they're really putting that ball in play. And not only are they putting the ball in play, they're saying to the defensive switch. I mean, what is
shift.
it? The shift. What did I say? Switch. they're hitting the ball where it's pitched, right? So if they're opening up the if they're opening up the third base line, you see McNeil yesterday. He's just okay. He's going to poke it right up that third base line.
Yep.
Uh, why haven't we done this before?
He's a
Who
poker.
knows? He's a little poker doker. Um, it's it's been a real joy to watch. Their fundamentals are amazing. Um, let's go Mets.
But it's the whole
Yeah.
philosophy of it, right? So
Yeah.
you talk to some of the guys from last year before, and the year before that. They were basically mentally drained of all the information that they were given, and launch angle, and that seemed to move the head to the head of the line for the Mets the last several, and most of baseball, to be honest with you. But it feels like the Mets are the ones to make that adjustment, early on and through the first 2 months of the season, with no signs of changing the way that they play. And Lindor in the post game, he brought up, they asked him, why is it, how is this team doing it, and he says every day it could be somebody new. One day it's Nito 4 for 4, could be Plummer one day. Today was Cookie battled through, didn't have his best stuff, had an emotional day with his dad in the stands, seeing him pitch for the first time ever.
Wow.
And he still
Wow,
found a
that's
way
sick.
through, right? And thanks to that little deadened ball right out in front of home plate, that really got him through the fifth inning,
I
and
know.
got him the win. So it is, Plummer of all guys, right? I mean, that kind of leads me into what transpired, kind of surprised some of us, was that Dom Smith getting sent down to AAA, down to Syracuse. And you see the reasons behind it. Number one, he wants to play every day somewhere. Number two, now you got Canna as your backup first baseman, but you also got Guillorme, who's, we'll talk about him a little bit more in depth, but he's been sizzling hot. And now you got Plummer up here, new kid. We don't know what to expect out of him, but so far so good out of him. And so
He's the
Keith,
number one pick, right? From the Cardinals.
yeah,
So he has to have been talented somewhere.
yeah. So you got those main guys in it right now, and the main guys is a huge list right now, right? From top to bottom, we're expecting hits every single time up, and it's the first time in a very long time that we can say that 1 through 9, we're like, all right, anybody can get a hit. Lindor, 10 straight games with an RBI is pretty sick in itself. I think he tied Piazza today, or did he tie? But Piazza has the
second place.
Yep.
In second place.
Yeah. And
Piazza
Piazza also has
12 or
the
14
regular
points.
record, right?
Yep.
I mean, he's done it multiple times, is what I'm trying to say. And then Keith, what has Guillorme meant to this team, and how freaking fun is it to watch him play defense?
And I heard somebody say, it might have been Bustolini, he actually said and compared his defense to Ray Ordonez. And I had to think about that. I'm like, I'm not sure, because Ray Ordonez, when he was in his prime, defensively, was one of the most amazing shows you can watch. But then thinking back to yesterday's game and see what Guillorme is possible of, I said, maybe he's maybe not at Ordonez's level, but he's a Gold Glover. It's been so much fun. That one play yesterday where he kind of off balance beamed it to first place and threw a strike right into Pete's glove for the out. Was great. And same thing. He's taking the ball and hitting it wherever they pitch it to him, and he's slapping hits all over the field. 360 he's batting, I think, right after today.
Yeah,
Joe just put that up.
yeah,
908
360,
OPS.
908 OPS.
I mean, this guy, wow. Is this a fluke? I mean, we all know defensively he was good. He's always put in for his
and he's
his
become
glove.
a solid hitter. He's become a decent hitter over the last few years, but not this.
Listen, if this guy
is going to lend to more superstition talk, because he shaved the beard and it worked.
Well, it is baseball after all. But if this guy can hit around 300 every year with a glove like that, there's no liability in that. He's somebody that's going to be on base for the big guys to drive in, and he's going to stop those runs in the field. So hopefully this is what we have to look forward to in Guillermo going forward.
He's the starting second baseman. If he hits 300, he's the starting second baseman. That's all there is to it. How can you not have this guy's glove play? And you know what, Keith? He's not Ordonez as far as range. That's the only difference that I see between them defensively. Ordonez had the fantastic range, and however, anything hit by Guillorme, he's gonna snag it. I mean, think about it, guys. The ball's by him, and he comes down on it. As it's going by him, he comes like this at it. I saw him do that the other day. I mean, the hand-to-eye coordination is amazing for him.
The same guy that sat and calmly caught a bat flying at him that flew out of a player's
exactly. That right then and there, yeah, it proves exactly that, Keith. 100% right. The guy has a hand-to-eye coordination that is unbelievable. He's hitting 300. And if they're stupid enough to shift him to the right and to pitch him outside, and he just hits it outside.
They're doing it with McNeil too. They're idiots, man.
You're stupid. That's why Ron Darling said he doesn't like the shifts, because if you're a pitcher, you have to pitch to the shift, and that could take away your strength. If you're a guy with a good inside movement on a righty, and you got to pitch him a certain way because of the shift, screws you. But hey,
that was Corbin the other night, right? Or who was that they said, look, he's pretty pissed off because he got the grounder,
and no one's there.
And then and then the other thing is that how often do you see? I see it pretty often that they get the shift on the left-hander, and you got a pitcher, inexperienced, not so smart, but trying to hit that outside corner with a fastball. Where's that going naturally? Not even with an attempt to get it the other way. That's naturally going the opposite field.
Unless they can get the guy to turn over, which you usually don't get the guy to turn over on a fastball. You throw an all-speed pitch to get him to turn over and hit the ball on the ground and try to pull it, because you'll do that as a lefty if that happens. But that's not good team ball. That's not good baseball. Period. So
one quick thing about the shift. You have to think about it, right? For years on this show, and I'm sure tons of fans who know what they're talking about were frustrated. They're giving you this whole side of the field, and you're swinging away and pulling the ball. The Mets' philosophy was over the fence. They'd have 8 guys on the right side of the field, including the pitcher. And the lefty is still get up there and pull it. I mean, why? And it took so long, which to me is baffling, right? For anybody to just say, all right, well, you want to give me the left side of the field? I'm gonna hit it there. You want to give me the right side of the field? Then I'll hit it there. And they still, if you look at the Nationals, they're still shifting on McNeil, and he's like, okay, boop, boop, and it just,
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
That would have been a joke when we were young, right, Keith? Remember when we were young watching these games from the 80s and 90s and stuff like that, or 90s? If they would have done a shift like that, any of those guys,
like
would have been a joke.
So extreme.
They would have been eating that alive. Like, okay, thanks, base it.
Batting 400. Tony Gwynn would have batted 700.
Philosophy was go up and hit a home run. So they're not thinking get on base. They're thinking hit it over the wall. Hernandez had said that when Darnold was in town. I don't know if it was this year or the year before, but Hernandez told him, "You're a doubles hitter. You're not a home run hitter. Stop swinging that way." And Darnold said to Keith Hernandez, I wish I would have listened to you, but the Mets only told me home run, home run, home run. And
and he kept getting hurt like a little puss bag too.
Also.
So
there's that too, right? But we're just talking about the hitting philosophy. We're not talking about his little porcelain body.
Producer Joe brings up a good point. We talk about especially this year, right? Where with the Mets, especially that other pitchers are not necessarily hitting their targets and not being able to place the ball in the right way. Now you're asking these same pitchers to be so fine inside or outside to hit into the shift, and like producer Joe says, we often see a catcher set up on the outside corner and the ball's down and in or over the heart of the plate. The pitchers not on our team miss
Farace
often.
They teach these guys to pitch at maximum effort every time they're up
Right.
there. So if you're
Yep.
pitching at maximum effort, you don't have control. The ones that pitch at maximum effort and have control become Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, those guys. But there's very few and far between that become Hall of Famers. So when you're telling a guy throw as hard as you can, but hit this little spot on the corner,
Yep.
it's just not going to happen. They're
Right.
going to be wild, or they're going to miss and get hurt by it and get smacked around. So they're not rethinking what happens after I give you this direction. What's the negative part of it? There's a lot of negative to it.
Yep. I mean,
Teach
look
them
at
how to pitch.
I hope I really truly hope DeGrom doesn't come back trying to throw 100 again. DeGrom is a good enough pitcher. He can stay in the mid 90s and have the same impact, in my opinion. Um, look, maybe we'll go back, right? We're going back to the philosophy of actually hitting. Maybe we'll go back to the philosophy of actually pitching, like a Maddox type or somebody who can throw 92 tops and throw no hitter. Somebody who knows how to
Cookie
keep runners.
Carrasco.
Cookie's one of
Cookie
them too.
Carrasco is the perfect
Bassett
example
too.
of a
Bassett
pitcher.
what's Bassett's velocity?
Bassett
Just up to 94 or so,
Bassett's
but
even a better example.
Not
Yeah,
not against the Giants. Don't we don't want to see the
there
Giants
it
in
is.
the
yeah, he got
basement.
a
See
little
how he is,
shellacked,
Keith?
but
Poopy in the milky.
yeah.
Really?
He's gonna have to face them. He's gonna have to face them again. Watch, and it's gonna be on the line for us. I
Oh
hope he doesn't
God,
do
dude,
that.
look at you.
Well,
Oh,
he'll be pitching
I'm
against the
pro-
Dodgers this week, so
I'm
we'll see what
projecting
happens.
too much. Oh, my son just called me today, telling me he's going to all the games. He can't wait for the team to get over there. He's got all his gear getting ready. He's
Nice.
buying the tickets. I mean, he is so happy, and he says
Nice.
he's 30 minutes from LA,
Uh-huh.
45 minutes to an hour from San Diego, and he can get to San Francisco too. So and Anaheim, he could even do the Anaheim games with Noah. I said go to the Noah game, so he's gonna
Noah's
try
gonna
to
be.
do
It's
something
that
like
Friday
that.
or Saturday. They
Oh
said.
man, he's so happy. So Marquise, have fun.
Go.
Alrighty.
Yeah, definitely have fun. That
That's cool,
sounds
man. Good for him, bro.
pretty awesome. That's a pretty cool trip to be able to take, or to be able to follow the team around a little bit.
That would have been nice.
All right, getting back to Dom real quick, because I don't know if we got through that too well, but so Dom gets sent down. Obviously, we know that he said what the things that he said, and these guys are performing now. What do you think happens here? But I do, we see some of the rumors out there that this might be the end of the road for this marriage, if you will. But what do you guys think the outcome is going to be? Do you think he goes down there, gets his at bats, comes back up, and does well, or does well and we hold on to him, or does well as a showcase for a trade near the deadline, or is this the last that we've seen of Dom in a Met uniform? What do you guys think, Keith?
Well, I for one understood the move. Of course, I was a little surprised by it, just like everybody else was. I didn't expect that to happen, but I understood the move. He has not been performing. He hasn't home run since July of last year. He hasn't had a lot of opportunity, but the little opportunity he's had, he hasn't capitalized on it. And we need a pitching, right? So we're not going to take some guy Plummer who's hot, hit 2 home runs coming out of the bat, who capitalized on his opportunity and send him down. Unfortunately, it's Dom Smith that goes down. And I personally think it's not just his performance. I think obviously that's a huge part of it. I think it's a little bit of his chatter about not being happy and things like that. The Mets in their last year or so have really made a move to get away from social media people that talk outside the organization, all those distractions. That if you notice, Mets are pretty social media quiet, generally speaking. Um, and there's no leaks like there used to be. So I think that also had a play in it. And I think what's going to happen go forward is he's going to get an everyday opportunity in AAA. Um, the Mets are hoping that he picks up his average and looks really good, and we trade him for some bullpen help. That's really what I think is going to end up happening, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, Rodriguez, what do you think?
It's not a bad line. If it helps him and it helps us, fine. Listen, every game is a showcase, Farace. Every game that you're playing in the major leagues or in the minor leagues is to showcase yourself, so that at the next level, if you're in the minors, you move up to the next level. They see you, they move you up. He's gonna go down to the minor leagues, start raking. Okay, once he starts raking, people are gonna come to the Mets and say, "Listen, what do you got? What do you want for him?" And if they
Right.
give him something good, I think they will give him the chance to go play someplace else. Now, again, what if somebody gets hurt? God forbid. They don't want to trade him. They'll bring him up to the majors and keep him on the bench. It's the thing is, it's a team thing. I don't have a problem with him talking and saying, "I want to play every day." Because if you don't want to play every day, you're not going to be on my team. Because everyone wants to play every day. You should want to play every day. Guillaume is playing every day somehow, some way. He made it. He done it. Dominic Smith, you can do it too. It's just what it is. Hopefully, you get your wish. You're happy. The Mets are happy. We get some pitching because, like Keith said, we need pitching. And Dom Smith is a guy that can get you a nice pitcher in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
If you go
He's under
straight up in the
control till
minor leagues,
2025.
yeah, I mean, he can get you a good quality arm,
2025.
in the minor leagues, from the minor leagues. So
Yeah.
I mean, um, I wish him well. I like Dominic Smith, but they got rid of Syndergaard because of his big mouth, and if he chirps in the wrong way, like he said, they might not even like him chirping because they don't. Their social media presence, like he said again, they have a quiet one, but it's not that they have a quiet one; they have a positive one. They're not
Yes.
negative like Syndergaard arguing with people, and they're not going to have that type of nonsense. So that's another reason they send them down, and just like shut up, play your game. Let's see what we're going to get from you,
Yep.
or for you.
All those reasons also why we don't have a player like Baez. I mean, we kind of dodged a bullet so far. It's
That's
young in the
Mhm.
well,
season. We
yeah,
don't know yet,
I
but
agree.
and listen, I love Dom Smith.
It's his talent,
He's
man.
proven he can do it. He's proven he can play in the major leagues. He's except for 1 year during the pandemic, never really was consistent about it. But if you give him enough opportunity, maybe he'll pull it together. He can swing a bat, and he's got a glove at first. So I hope somebody picks him up. Hope he does well for us. He gets us some good bullpen help. Somebody picks him up, and he gets an opportunity over there in Seattle, Texas,
Want
and
a young
somewhere.
starter for
Yeah.
him. Seattle, Texas, right, Keith?
Seattle.
That's where they'll
Yeah, and
all
he's
go.
under control to 2025. So I mean, we can if he picks it up
That's
in
big. That's
AAA.
big because you got the rest of this year, and then you said through 2025, or
Let me see. I can tell you right now. He's a
that's
free agent in
3+ years.
2025. So
Okay, so
uh,
still 2+ seasons is
2+ seasons. Yep.
on a guy who has shown that he can play at the major league level, not at this moment, but who has
This stretch has been his worst, but he's never been this bad. He's
no.
proven that he can do it. He's just in a bad stretch, and I think he's in his own head a little bit too about. I think he's feeling pushed out a little bit because there's a lot of talent on the team. So he's probably in his own head. It's a lot of a mental game too. So in AAA, hopefully he puts it together, like I said, and go hit your ass off, Dom, so we can get somebody in the
Go hit your
bullpen
ass
for
off.
you, and you can go play somewhere.
Cowbell has joined the session
Cowbell!
here. Hey, I was gonna shout you guys out. I saw that you guys are gonna be at the Rangers game 1.
Hey,
Oof,
did you
man.
see? I posted up a picture of you. I saw you on TV last night, Edwin.
Oh
Hitting
yeah,
that,
yeah.
yeah,
I saw you tagged them. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I missed that. I missed it live. But I was gonna kind of close that out. I'm hoping that as we go towards the future, we can say that we made the right because ultimately it felt like it was gonna boil down to Dom or JD. And much like back in the day when we had to choose between Ike Davis and Lucas Duda, and we chose Lucas Duda, we chose right. We didn't choose
Frachi, I
Hall
can
of
remember
Fame
you and
right.
I specifically
Listen,
having
I
tons of
think
conversation about that. Oh,
I
so
I
funny.
think we chose right with these guys. I think we chose
Yeah.
right only because JD Davis is a hitter right now. He's been hitting all along. He has never stopped hitting. The only thing that stopped him is his defense, but he's never stopped hitting. So as
And
a
inconsistent
DH,
at bats,
what more
I
could you
think, this
want?
year.
No, JD
Yeah.
Davis to me has
Mhm.
more potential as a hitter than Dom Smith. I
Mhm.
think Dom Smith as an all-around player has more potential, but as a DH or straight up hitter, I think JD can be a better hitter than Smith. But Smith has that glove at first. He's pretty slick, so
Yeah.
it makes him a better all-around player. And the funny thing is, I have to sometimes, and kind of off course, but relative. I have to think twice about who our GM's name is, which is such a good thing, because if I know my GM's name off the top of my head, it's probably because we're desperate or he's pissing me off. But Billy Epler has done an amazing job, and he's brought in some amazing pieces, great veteran leadership, and it's the right. And what made me think of that, Rodriguez, you said making the right choices, and he's really been doing that. So hope he keeps it up.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right, so we do have a moving on to kind of talk about this road trip that's coming up. We've built this now. Do the Braves play today? Yeah, today's Wednesday, so they have to play. But as of this moment, the Mets have built an 11-game lead in the. Gotta kind of
last I saw the
pinch myself
crap
or
line
knock
is
on
winning.
wood or do something. They've built an 11-game lead in the National League East. And so now it's time to hit the road with no day off on the West Coast trip, to the West Coast trip. I should say, Dodgers, Padres, Angels, all teams that are in first or second place.
Wow!
And yes, a tough trip. And we've been talking about this tough trip, and they've been the media has been talking about the rough trip. But I started thinking, especially within the 6-game stretch, why is it not the Dodgers have the Mets, the red hot Mets with the most wins in baseball coming into town? We need to prepare for them, and the Padres and the Angels the same. Why does it have to be a test for us with the most wins in the National League to this point? And then on the post-game show today, they said, maybe the Dodgers are having the same conversation, answering the same questions. What about the Mets coming in? But obviously you follow this team, but it has felt like even in on ESPN, the national coverage, it has felt like the Mets have a test coming up, and it's a solid road trip, and it's all playoff caliber teams. But the Mets have been steamrolling, major league teams. Steamrolling them. They're 35 and 7. They're 18 games over 500.
Amazing. Now we need a good old Predator. Get to the chopper. I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried. Excuse me. I have a theory on that. I'm a little worried about this road trip because it is tough teams, and it's the West Coast, and the West Coast, the time difference makes it a little more tough. And I am sure that the Dodgers are thinking that, but the difference is and why it's viewed that way outside of Met fandom, and sometimes even inside Mets fandom, is because the Dodgers have established themselves as that team for quite some time.
We're going to lose all 13, according to some Mets fans.
Right. Well,
get to the chopper!
Yes, Joe. Love you. So, right, we'll get to the chopper before we lose that 13th. So, I think that's really what it is that the Dodgers have established themselves, and we're just starting to kind of establish ourselves there. And also, we're missing our 3 biggest guns from the mound. Now, we still have some good pitchers out there, but, it makes things a little tougher. So I think those 2 factors are why it's viewed that way. I think we're going to go out there and improve that we contend. The Dodgers starting pitchers, they're just really good.
It's still we're gonna go through the matchups. It's dumb. It's and this guy. Why I said this last year when they traded him the first. What they traded him? They traded Scherzer to the Dodgers. That wasn't enough. We got Trey Turner, who now has a 23-game hitting streak, who's the fastest guy in all of baseball, and now just make the Dodgers even that more rich over there. God, stupid Nationals. Who's running their team? Who's their GM? Jackass.
I don't know who their GM is, but aside from their championship,
they douchebag.
They have made some pretty poor decisions, and that's coming from a Met fan who is an expert at their team making poor decisions. And that was one of them, I think. I don't know what they got in return, but wow.
Sorry, I got angry there. I got angry Joe syndrome. I don't know what happened. Yeah.
What's the power rankings?
Depends on what site you go to.
Pretty much every site. Let's be real. Dodgers
has the Mets
1,
third, right?
Okay, so the Dodgers are number 1, right?
Yeah.
So it's a test for the Mets. That's as simple as it gets. We like he said, we don't have our big pitchers. We have a little makeshift pitching
Dodgers
staff.
fans on his show.
So it's not being a Dodgers fan; it's being realistic.
What do you guys' name is Kyle?
If
you Dodgers fans now?
Don't you ever call me that, okay? Never. Because what's gonna happen to you is not gonna.
That was rude. I apologize.
That was pretty.
That deserved an on-air apology.
Okay.
Dodgers fan, Cowboys. I'm sorry.
He could have easily
called you. No.
Sorry, too far.
He could have easily called you the BH person.
For you, right? That's
he
true.
Didn't do that. He didn't do that. So good for you, Rodriguez.
Emotional damage.
Okay. All right.
All right.
What were we talking about?
We're talking about you not calling
you being a Dodgers fan.
Oh yeah. No, it's good. Being realistic, man. Those Dodgers are a tough team. They're number one in all of baseball. So it's a test for us. We have to measure up against them. If we come out of there, how many games are we playing them? 4?
4.
If we come out at 500, we're straight. We're good, man. Every other team I think we can beat. The Dodgers are the only one.
All right. Okay. So let's go through the matchups for this 4-game set.
Is Kirk Gibson playing this weekend?
He's gonna open the Sunday game.
The reason why I say that real quick is I saw a Met fan online, and I take most of this for what it's worth because it's just stupid and funny. But
that's the way the funniest stories start.
To talk about 1988 and how the Mets won all these games against the Dodgers and blew at the end. So we're gonna sweep them but lose at the end because Kirk Gibson. I was what?
Gibson's ghost is gonna come out and play.
What about 2015? We got swept by the Cubs. Remember the 7 games, and then we swept their ass in the playoffs.
Yep.
All right, so tomorrow, opening game of the series, you got Yaiwan Walker, 3-0, 2.83 ERA, going against Tony Gonsolin. I don't care if I pronounce your name right or wrong. 5-0, a 1.80 ERA. That's tomorrow. Friday night, we got one Basset Hound going on the mound, 4-2, 3.66 ERA, probably a 1.40 ERA if you take the Giants games out. On the mound, Tyler Anderson, 6-0, a 2.90 ERA. Saturday, David Peterson. So, isn't it funny? David Peterson season. He's pitched well in the majors for the most part, and the start in the minors, he gave up like 8 runs in like 2 innings, and then he came back up and he pitched well. Well, we're gonna need him to pitch really well come Saturday. 2-0, 3.03 ERA against Walker Buehler, and his record is just tarnished. 6-1. A 3.22 ERA. And then the Sunday game, I believe that's going to be
Peterson better step up.
Trevor Williams is who they said. He goes against Urias, who is the struggling guy on the staff. Feels like a little Jacob DeGrom syndrome. 3-5 with a 2.89 ERA. But the ERA 2.89, you're coming in with these low ERAs versus a team who's been beating the hell out of the ball. Something's got to give. What you guys think that this is going to be a lot of 4-3 games, 3-2 games, maybe a couple of high scoring 8-7 stuff like that. You remember a couple of years ago that series against the Dodgers. I think we bring this up on the show often. It was a series that we lost, but we played well enough to gain confidence there. This is a different scenario here. We're going in there to show that we deserve to be there and smash these people in the mouth. So, what do we got, Rodriguez? What say you? 4-game set.
I say that our offense has to stay the way it is and prove to these Dodgers that we can hit these guys. But what you just threw at me was better than I thought it was even supposed to be. So you just kind of ruined it. So like I said,
Rodriguez
really
is twitching
hopeful.
With every 6-0.
I'm really hopeful that we can take 2-2 from there, man. Come out with a 500 record against them. I would be ecstatic with that type of pitching staff. I would be ecstatic. So Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Producer Joe says it is a shame what we're gonna do to those ERAs.
Oh,
That's
I love that. I love that. I love it.
Keith Higgins.
In the real world, though, it's different.
By the way, Urias was a 20-game winner last year.
Yeah, he was with 20-3.
Yeah,
that's why he was on. That's why I picked him in fantasy. Look what he's doing to me.
So,
but still a good ERA. But that's so surprising that team.
No wins.
Well, that's the
he's pitched
DeGrom.
bad. It's been him. It's been him.
That's what I'm saying, Joe.
So I don't know. You know, I try to watch some of the Dodgers games. A lot of them are late. Last night I watched a little bit of their game because I know we're going up against them, just to familiarize myself with the team. And you know, they're just a really clean team. I think it's going to be the Mets need to go in there and play a really clean game, and just continue to be selective with their pitches, and we will do some damage to those ERAs. You know, and
their
we
bench
win,
guy's an all-star, Keith. Chris Taylor, their bench
yeah,
guy.
I know they're a really tough team, but
I just
so are we.
realized,
And I think that when we go in there,
Freddie Freeman,
if we,
guys. Freddie Freeman. I completely forgot about that guy.
You forgot about Freeman?
Yeah.
Does that go? Does that whooping the Mets go away? That he's out of the division?
Yeah, I think so. We'll beam
Okay,
him a
good.
couple
Thank
times.
you.
But
Thank you.
you know, I
feel
think
better
that
now.
when we go over there, like I said, we just need to play a really clean defensive game. It's going to be who makes the least mistakes. I think that's what this series is going to be. I mean, you know, you could say like whoever scores more wins, but truthfully in baseball, when you have two
You
teams
could
like this
say
go
that.
against each other, right? But we think of
You want to win.
think of the World Series, right? The Royals played a cleaner game than us, and that's why they beat us. We need to go in there and play a cleaner game than the Dodgers. We need to make those pitchers work, get into the bullpen, and smack them around and play our game. Make them play our game. And that's really what it comes down to. If we come out of there, I'm not going to say my prediction right yet because we're not there yet. But if we come out of there, you
And we're
know,
there.
intact,
We're there.
Oh, we are.
We're there.
If we
Rodriguez
come
said
out of there
two-
with,
That's what
if we
we're
come out
talking
of there with
about.
2 wins, I'm happy. I'm expecting at least 2 wins, and I don't think that is understating things. I think we can do 3, but I think realistically 2 wins would be amazing if we come out of there with 2 wins.
I don't know about 3.
Well, you never know, right? Because these Mets are resilient. We've never seen a Met team like this ever. Who the fight.
Keep that offense going.
Right.
Keep that
That's what it
pressure
comes down
going.
to. We just need to.
We'll win.
First inning.
First inning. If we
First
get
inning.
their starting pitcher over 20 pitches, that's good. For me, I like to see the Mets at least get 15 pitches per inning, at least out of the opposing team. You know, that'll cut them down to 5 or 6 innings, and it gives us 3 innings. Well, per batter is even better. But then it gives us 3 innings of the bullpen, and that's where we thrive, right? Even though the bullpen is still good, but whatever. You know, Mets are a good team too. It's sad we don't have our big guns, Scherzer, DeGrom, and McGill. But
we'll see how good we are now. We'll know.
Yeah.
Offensively.
It's going to be a lot of sleepless nights coming up. 2:00 in the morning games.
Let's go, baby. So 2-2. I'm going 2-2 also, but I would not be surprised at all this Mets team that they even go down there and they sweep them. I would not be. That would not stun me.
Oh my God.
Nothing. Just it is what it is because Rodriguez. We talked about this earlier in the year, right? We said that the Mets were scoring most of their runs, fourth inning, fifth inning on. Now it's just like, just take a guess on when we're going to score.
But they were they've been facing different pitching staffs. These are elite pitchers. I mean, at least three of the guys on there are elite pitchers. So it's going to be a little harder. It can be done. I'm all for it, but it's not the Nats pitching staff, and it's not the Phillies pitching staff. Even though there's Wheeler, you could say something, but still, you're going to face 4 Wheelers out there, so it's going to be a little tough.
Yeah, so I got 2-2. Joe's got 3-1, so Joe's got 3-1. Everybody else has 2-2.
Wow.
And I don't want Joe to be the only one that's right, but I'll take it also.
3-1. You're going 3-1?
No, no. No, 2-2. 2-2.
Okay.
Remember, I said I'm not getting too excited about the start. Remember that, right?
I do not remember. You're lying to me.
Liar.
You're lying to, don't lie to me to my face.
As we get set to wrap this bad boy up, producer Joe is calling us pessimists. The series after that, we had the San Diego 3-game set. Nothing on the starting pitching. So let's do our best here. I don't see the Padres as a big a threat as the Dodgers. Obviously, they've been really They've been scoring 2-3 runs a game recently. And what I was going to say before is that this Mets team is built to win the 2-1 games, and they're built to win the 13-12 games. They've done it. It's 9 shutouts this year, and they've just been able to string. What was it yesterday? 7 base hits in a row, and it's nice to see that it's not a guy gets on base. Some fundies messed up on the bases, then somebody hits a 700-foot home run, and all that is for 1 run. This is solid stringing from foul line to foul line, and I'm being very positive, producer Joe.
It also wears the other team down when you're just
base
hit. They're standing in the field, they're getting tired, they get frustrated. Yeah, it's really cool. There you go. Is that Noah's no outer again?
That's Syndergaard pitching again.
The no outer. So I say we go into San Diego. We take 2 out of 3 there. Rodriguez, what do you think?
We're gonna have to, yeah. After the split with LA, we need to take 2 out of 3 from these guys, and we can, because I think Machado hurt on that team.
No,
isn't he out or something?
Machado's killing it.
9-12.
It's what's
is he?
Hurt?
He's batting like 380.
I know Tatis. I know Tatis because he's
hurt.
Of course on my fantasy squad. So
Tatis, you and
I think it's. I thought Machado, something happened to Machado. They had to sit him down or something.
Yeah, something happened to him. His bat is on fire. Prick.
Goofy. Cheater.
Remember our stupid remember us wanting Machado, or his...
I'll still take him.
There's Machado and Harper. We were talking about what balls did we have that we would even that was just for the ratings. We had to talk about star power. We knew damn well we had no chance to get either one of those guys.
If we had Cohen, we would have had a chance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We might have had both.
Will Pours. The Will Pours never wanted to spend any money.
All right. So you got 2 out of 3 there. Rodriguez, 2 out of 3 from Joe. 2 out of 3 here. What about you, Keith?
Yeah, definitely 2 out of 3. I think we can even sweep them. To be honest, it's going to be a tough series, but I'm going 2 out of 3, hoping for a sweep.
Producer Joe says 5-2 on the trip. That would be 5-2 through those 7 games. Then we'll talk about the Angels next week as we get closer. Maybe I heard, Rodriguez, that you're working closely with producer Joe on a tribute video for Noah.
Oh yeah, it's called a double gun salute. You want to see it?
Read between the lines.
Couple more quick things. Congrats to Johnny Depp on your millions and millions of dollars won in a
mega pint.
Get richer.
Mega pint. Cheers to the mega pint. Congratulations to Mickey Callaway on getting fired from your Mexican League job after a 16-17 start. Cheers to you, sir. 16 and 17 and
in Wisconsin, there's some lumberjack jobs available for you, Mickey. So in case you're looking.
Unbelievable, this guy. God, and we were
so. New York. They're always looking for lumberjacks in the village.
You know what it was? We were so Wilpond. We took anything and found the positive lining in it, even though it was like 12 negatives for every positive. That's really what it was. No, seriously.
You look at it's very interesting the way you used that, Keith. We were Wilpond.
Yeah, we Wilpond. I verbalized. I verbalized the word. I Wilpond it. It's a verb now. You've been Wilpond. You've been fooled.
Sean, don't drive and talk to us. We don't want to be the cause of any situations.
Yeah, just listen.
Before we head out, another reason to realize that there is magic in the air at Citi Field Producer Joe, I put another video in that little collage area. If you can run that, this is from I think it was last night. The gentleman in center field that caught the ball holding the baby.
So you're holding your baby. Oh, and you catch that on the fly, and baby's fine.
Baby's going, Dad.
This man will go viral.
So they kept on going back to him, and I just.
So you're holding your baby. Oh, and you catch that on the fly, and baby's fine.
Baby's going, Dad.
This man will go viral.
Yes. So he went through, and you could see he was getting like phone calls, laughing. The magic that is happening at Citi Field, undeniable, guys.
You know he caught that on the bounce, right? Not on the fly.
You know
that. Bounce on the fly.
But
it was still pretty
cool.
impressive, though.
It was, yes.
Yeah, it would have been more impressive if he would have caught the ball, right?
It would have been really impressive if he catches it. Yeah, does the tumble, holds on to the kid, locks his feet around the bar, then pulls himself back up by the strength of his stomach, hops over, sits in his seat, and drinks a beer. That would have been impressive.
Or he dove over the fence to get the ball as he's diving. He turns around and he does a lateral to his other family member with the baby. The other family member catches the baby. He catches the ball, does a handstand, and pushes himself back up with his hands back over the fence and onto his feet.
Wow.
Wow.
Or if he would have just done like this and caught the ball with his web, no?
You got to thwip it. You got to thwip it.
Go,
Most impressive.
Go web, go. No. All right, let's start heading out of here and put a big old blue and orange ribbon on this bad boy. Let's head out. Keith, I know you got one in there for us on your way out.
To the whole entire Dodgers pitching staff. May you all suck this weekend, and may we sweep your asses and clean the city for you, baby. Let's go, Mets.
Yes.
Go to it, Dodgers. You suck. Keith said, Fwakata, the heck with you, Dodgers. You're done. We're going to take 3 out of 4 from them. I think producer Joe's right. I think that Fwakata might have got.
Are you officially changing your pick?
No, I'm not. I'm going to.
Me neither.
What's wrong with
I have hope. But
you just ruined everything, Farace. You see how
Sorry.
you're pooping milk? You could have just let it go and not make me tell the truth.
Oh, let me do one more.
Let's go, Mets. LFGM.
Since I wasn't on the show 2 weeks ago, I'm going to make up for that. Fwakata to the poop and milk that Farace throws all the time.
That's right. It's true. You've been pooping the whole show, Farace. That's all
Seriously.
you do. How high can you get on that turd chair? Because you've been pooping all day.
Whatever. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they swept the Dodgers. How much more non-pooping milk could you be?
Yeah, we don't remember
Mama
you saying
said
that.
it would have been more impressive if the baby caught the ball. I must agree.
If
he held the baby out by its feet and the baby stretched and caught the ball.
Just dangled like Michael Jackson over the. Remember Michael Jackson?
And then it threw it back in because the baby,
like the rookie of the year.
And then DCF, next inning, DCF guides the parent out of the building.
And puts the baby in jail.
Yeah,
well deserved.
Producer Joe, we gotta get out of here. We can't do this anymore. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace out and let's go Mets. Peace.